who's been following up on this story and now joins us via phone. Murimi, I trust that you can hear me now. We're aware that some of his bail terms include he has been barred from accessing office. How does this affect Nairobi County?
Well, a situation similar to this has happened before in Kiambu County as well as Samburu. But now, before the country's economically most strategic county of Nairobi, because Governor Mike Sonko has been barred from City Hall, where his office is. And that is because, according to the prosecution, that office is a crime scene, given that these economic crimes and part of what the investigations entail is a paper trail, and even the records from the county government, which ideally would be found at City Hall. But besides being barred from accessing that particular venue, remember previously the Senate has meddled into this issue in regards to Kiambu and Samburu, and they allowed the governors there to open separate offices from where to serve their respective constituents. And this is something that Waititu had planned to do. It is expected that Sonko could do the same, but that could also put him at loggerheads with the Director of Public Prosecution, who has been quite outspoken on this issue, recently warning that any attempts to open separate offices by these governors that are affected would occasion action from the DPP's office, which of course would partly involve them raising a complaint with court, the courts that are where they have previously been barred from accessing office. This is an active case. He has already denied the charges against him, and now this case heads to the next phase, which is that of the hearings. And it is clear that the prosecution will be adducing their evidence, and it is from that point that the witnesses that they have lined up will get to be known by the other parties in this particular case. And it is expected that some of the witnesses could be county government workers or officials, and therefore there is a thin line between him doing what he is supposed to do as the city governor and his interaction with other technocrats within the county government who ideally would be potential witnesses for the DPP in this particular case, and therefore quite a political crisis in a way looms in the city, and there is expected to be quite a lot of discussion on this issue, given that Sonko doesn't have a deputy who would ideally take over his roles in instances where he is unable to access City Hall. Because remember, the condition that has been given for him to be able to access his office is that he must be accompanied by the investigating officer in this particular case, or a designated officer who then accompanies him to, of course, ensure that he doesn't tamper with the evidence as presumed by the prosecution or interfere with the witnesses, some of who, as I said, could be county government workers based at City Hall.
Being one of the main conditions, what other conditions were mentioned?
Well, there was a condition that he is barred from commenting on the merits of this case, not just on the mainstream media, but also on social media. And, you know, Governor Sonko is quite active on social media and also active on the mainstream media. So should he appear for, say, the media interviews, he's totally barred from discussing this particular case. I remember in the run-up to his arrest on Friday, he has been quite outspoken on the media about his confrontations with the EACC, as well as the present case upon which he has severally been summoned before the EACC prior to his arrest. And therefore, besides that, he has also been warned against any action that could be deemed to be intimidation to potential witnesses in this particular case. So quite tight measures put in place by the DPP, and quite a thin line, as I said, between the governor executing what is his mandate and what could be presumed to be interference with the witnesses or seeming to intimidate the witnesses in this particular case.
All right, Murimi, on Monday there were other talks of another charge sheet that emerged in which the governor was accused of committing 3 offences during his arrest in Voi. Do we know any information in regards to that?
Well, there has been a charge sheet that has been circulating on social media indicating that the governor was to be charged with the assault of Coastal Regional Police Commander there hasn't been an indication as yet if he is to be arrested and arraigned for that particular offense. Because at the moment, moments ago, just before I stepped out of the courtroom, he and the other suspects were being or heading to the holding cell as their legal teams prepare to clear their bail terms so that they can, of course, breathe some air of freedom. But there's no indication as yet if any arrest, as has been widely speculated, is to be made after his release on bail here. But there has been that charge sheet that has been circulating on social media with police sources indicating that there are intentions to charge him with assault because the National Police Service has already issued a statement in which they claim the governor not only allegedly resisted arrest on Friday, but also reportedly physically assaulted one of the police officers, that being the regional police commander. And it is expected, or it was expected earlier, that perhaps the governor could have been charged in Voi pursuant to that charge sheet that has been in circulation, but he was brought to Milimani where he faced the corruption-related charge and is yet to be released from the cells because he is yet to clear his bail terms as directed by court.
All right, thank you very much, Murimi Mwangi, for that detailed report. Murimi Mwangi has been following up on this story, and we are aware that Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko has been released on a cash bail of 15 million shillings and the bond of 30 million shillings with bail terms, which include he has been barred from accessing his office and also commenting on social media and any other platform, while his co-accused have been released on a 3 million shillings bond with surety of a similar amount. Of course, this is a story that we'll be following closely to the end. But we take a short break here on News Desk. We still have much more on the other side. Stay with us.